Welcome to the presentation of experiment number 2 in software engineering lab. So the experiment number 2 is about software requirement analysis. So here come we are going to do and requirement aspect, mainly budgeting and scheduling aspect. We are going to do an analysis, and with the help of some of the tools, we are going to do this kind of analysis part. So we are going to describe before that the phases and the modules and the deliverables and functional and non-functional requirements of this particular project. So what you have done in experiment number 1, the same project title you're going to carry out for entire experiments. So all 10 experiments are based on your first title. So here comes you're going to write that aim and that same title, remove all the red lines while you submit the documentation part. As per this template, you're going to prepare this experiment. So what is meant by software requirement analysis? So we are going to do a complete study and analyzing the description of the entire software. So what is software, what is process, and what is the final product? So as per this study or analysis part, here we are going to start with the summary. So it is a kind of an abstract. It's kind of an abstract with the minimum 250 words and make it as a paragraph. So first part you have to explain what is just an introduction and the purpose, objective, problem statement, methodology, result, and conclusion, little things. For example, fingerprint voting system. You have to explain about what is meant by fingerprint voting system, and the objective is to allow users from anywhere or on the spot, online or offline mode. You have to mention that, and the problem statement that they must have these requirements, and with the help of it, they are going to vote, and the methodology to solve. So individuals who want to do voting from their home are based on your suggestion. You have to say what are the hardware requirement, what is the process, and what's the output. Finally, you're going to say the accuracy as well as how many number of users can vote using the system, how it is adaptable, and how it is how you can customize for different countries when they want to do the same voting system. Can they use it? So in such aspect, you have to do it some analysis and finally give a conclusion on it. So this is how the summary, you have to make it as a paragraph in 250 words, a short summary about the entire. When they read, they can able to understand what is this project is all about. You have to give the description of the product or a service. Whether you are developing a project, finally it is going to offer a service to customers, or it is going to be a product going to be useful for the user. For example, here we have given two examples. Microsoft Office, it is called as a product, right? And then if it is an electricity billing application, it offers services to the customer. So through that we can do payment, and we can know about the details of our electricity bill. So this is how you have to explain about finally your project is going to offer a service to customers. So just like 5 paragraphs you have to write in the perspective of product or a service. Then you have to make a technology consideration. For example, here comes you have to say about the software requirements in terms of what is the front end, what is the back end, what is the ID integrated development environment. For example, while you consider a PHP application, so PHP with MySQL. So PHP, we can create an interface and you can write a code to connect with the backend, that is the database part, MySQL or any other database server you have to mention. And when you want to work with this application, if you want to use the IDE is NetBeans, right? So this is how you have to mention the tool description in 5 paragraphs about all these technologies are important for implementing this particular software or this particular product or a project. So that you have to explain here. Then you have to explain about the product or a service towards the marketplace, how this project may reach different users, different customers, whether you are going to host it as an online application, mobile application, or who are the collaborative partner. For example, when you consider Flipkart kind of an application, Definitely third party agents are involved, request related application third party agents, so you have to create an interface for them. So all those things, so all these are different ways we can take the project in a profit based part aspect. So you can reach how your project may reach a huge market, huge customers. So all in that aspect you have to do a study and you have to write two paragraphs. Then the marketing strategy, the goals and the fears, competitors, trend, the weakness, opportunity, threats, and multiple channels, online community blogs. Because any project or a product, when you consider all these supportive links are needed, because all these are offering a the marketing strategy. It's a kind of an advertising, so through which you can publicize your project to large number of customers. But at the same time you have to compare your product with other customers as well. For example, like Flipkart and Amazon, they are doing the same kind of business, so they have to they definitely they will compare. And how then some of the new channels or new menus, new pages, new options they will open up for the community to get benefited, but at the same time they will improve their marketing strategy, right? So this kind of comparison also you have to do. How so when your project, okay, so you have to compare it with some other project which are related or concentrated on the same business. Next, organization, that is staffing. So staffing means that is how much employees you have to, because every project when you implement, definitely it needs some employees. So you have to manage those employees. That is why in every website when you go, careers options will be there. So do you have, are you going to provide such kind of options? So for login, upload, submit, and for supportive part you have to create about the job description which are going to generate through this project. Okay, and then you have to prepare the schedule, and the schedule part you're going to prepare a table and a graph. So I'm going to provide you two tools, that is in Excel. With the help of it you're going to derive this schedule. So what is meant by schedule? With the help of schedule, you can able to find out the list of modules, that is small project. We are going to divide it into small components, and we are going to assign it to different people, and we are going to mention about what is the start date and the stop date, that is end date, and whether it is completed or ongoing or incomplete. In case if it is incomplete and if it is not able, if the team is not able to complete, then there is a lot of discussions and debates are needed. Sometimes there may be lack of resource, or they may need some additional training, or there is a shortage of some resources. So all those problems you have to identify with the help of schedule. Will help you to track and identify any changes which are required in a particular project, and you can able to find out all the process or online. So this is how schedule you're going to prepare, and you're going to place it here. Then the financial projections. This is about the budgeting part, and for this also I'll provide a Excel sheet. With the help of it, you can derive that. So work breakdown structure. So here comes, you're going to divide the work into five tasks. Means if there is a subtask there, you are going to number it, and then what is the corresponding task which is assigned to which person, and how many hours are allocated, and what is the actual hour the person took for completion, and for each hour how much amount you have to pay, and if they have spent the amount for some other purposes, some miscellaneous or travel, or so all those things you have to calculate, and you have to fix. This is the actual budget, and within the actual budget this is supposed to be covered, and in case if it is not covered, that is called over budget, and sometimes if it is covered within that budget, then it is called okay, it's a normal one. And so with the help of it, you're going to do an analysis whether the project can be completed within the budget or not. That is under budget, over budget estimation part we are doing with the help of this particular tool. And then you're going to do one functional requirement and non-functional requirements. So functional requirements means that is the major modules, the core modules. Without those modules, okay, the functional, the project cannot perform its own operation. So those modules you have to list it out and you have to explain in detail. And non-functional requirements, it's like an extra. Non-functional requirements in this experiment is about you're going to determine the reliability. You have to measure the performance of the particular project with the help of some of the non-functional requirements. How about the security aspect? How you're going to generate some backup and all those things you're going to do an analysis under non-functional requirements. So under this title, you're going to prepare the content. Then the system requirements from the client side, what is the requirement, what are the software and the hardware which are supposed to be available, then only they can started using the application. So such aspect you have to do an analysis. So the overall summary, and at last you have to give a result about, okay, you have done this study experiment properly and you have identified clearly this project requirements. So overall summary, just want to give you about with the help of software requirement analysis, you can analyze the entire project's description, how you can bring your project to take your project to the marketplace, and who are your competitor, how you will analyze the strength, and how about staffing and schedule and budget which are required for a particular project. And regarding this project, when you prepare this but scheduling part, you're going to use this template. Here comes, you're going to mention the name of the project, execs, manager, start date. For example, it's a 1 month project you can consider, and total duration is 30 days. And list of tasks, maybe first part is a registration module, login module, then on choosing the product, adding the product, and raising the order, payment, all those things are task description. Then you have to write the status. Okay, just now we have started means started, and if some project, some modules are under hold, you have to say it is hold. So likewise, at least for a particular project, 20 modules you just describe here and update its dummy status. Then it is assigned to consider a project consists of 5 team members. Consider one person assign their names and project start date. Suppose this phase is supposed to be completed, then only the next one is supposed to begin. Means after this end date, you have to start this particular phase. So such date you have to give. And what is the total duration for this particular task? Maybe the registration. Okay, maybe the registration. Consider here the task are like registration, login, then search product, and then add products. Then you're going to raise order, raise order, and then you're going for payment. So likewise, a lot of small modules are there, and give the duration. Okay, so it takes only 2 days, and it takes in terms of days or month. Okay, here you have to mention here comments. Okay, so it's successfully going on without any struggle, or it is completed by this person, this is held by this person. Yeah, okay, so any drawbacks, any problems if you face, you have to give all the commands here. So this is how you have to prepare the schedule, and you have to attach in the document. Then about the budget, so here comes, you're going to prepare the project name, manager, and an unique ID. Work breakdown structure, here we are not going to mention, okay, we are mentioning the small task name here, and the numbering part also you're giving, and it is assigned to whom, how many planned hours. Maybe you have planned for 30 days, but it took 40 days. Means, okay, so each hour how much amount you are going to plan for giving as a remuneration, and any material cost, that also you have to mention. The travel, sometimes it is needed for data collection, you have travel, or you went for some other location to test the application on a server, that amount you have to mention. Then miscellaneous charges, any other charges, and what is the actual budget was given. Okay, so as per this, what is the amount coming here, you have to mention, add these values. Okay, in terms of dollar, right? So two, three, four components you add and give it here. And so that total is going to be here, and what is the actual was allocated. For example, suppose here 100. Okay, suppose here it is 100, and here again 200 and 300 and okay 10 okay 100. So as per this, okay, 367 700 is the budgeted dollar in dollars if you consider, but actual was okay 1000. So now you're saving 300. This is how you have planned. So you have to allocate and started utilizing it. Sometimes, okay, so allocated is only 600, then it is called over budgeting. So this is how you can do an analysis before starting a project. With the help of this, you won't waste your money and you can save your money, and that will be useful for helping you to complete the entire project. So this is how budgeting is going to work. So this is the actual budget. From this only we have to spend. If we spend more, then the project cannot be completed, or you have to sit and analyze again. So this is how you have to plan. This is how you have to plan about schedule, budgeting, and this will also help you analyzing a project and planning the project perfectly before going for actual implementation. And with the help of it, you can save the time as well as the money. So experiment number two will help you to do an analysis before going for implementing any project in a productive way. Thank you.